Knoxville, to our viewers on Channel 10, welcome back to our live coverage. Leland Price, who is a veteran and also serving with the Knox County DA's office, is alongside me. We're waving at the Corvette Club saying howdy as they roll up Gay Street on a rainy day. 50 degrees, a little chilly, but look, Leland, there are still people out waving, umbrellas out, saying thank you.
That's right, that's right. We've still got crowds here along Gay Street, so that's good to see the crowds coming out. I know we've got a lot of people watching at home, so thank you for tuning in. And you can see these groups still turned out to support our parade. This Corvette Club, they're looking great. You can see the water beating up on that wax job on that Corvette. It looks sharp, looks sharp.
Very tight.
Work tirelessly every single day, protecting our military funerals and protecting...
You're hearing Gunner talk a little bit about these motorcycle riders. Patriot Guard riders have done so much at all hours of the day to escort military members who have sadly been killed in action home, ensuring that families are protected. They do a lot.
They do. You know, they stand guard at these veterans' funerals, and that always provides comfort to know that service has been acknowledged. And so they're just a great organization, and glad to see them out here today and for what all they do.
And Leland, for people who missed the top of the broadcast, you talked a little bit about the significance of this year as we celebrate Veterans Day, which is Sunday, but we are at the annual parade today. We're 100 years from the end of World War I.
Yeah, it's quite a remarkable thing to think about. 100 years ago, Sunday, was the end of World War I, the 11th hour, the 11th day, the 11th month, and how that affected history. It really set the stage for the whole 20th century, and even to today. World events, relationship among the nations.
The way they're divided.
That's right. That's right.
Iraq and other parts of the Middle East sort of carved up after that war.
We're still really dealing with that moment, that ending of World War I, and the decisions that were made immediately after that. We're still dealing with that today. You're absolutely right. In the Middle East and elsewhere.
And again, Alvin York playing such a key role in that war as a symbol of heroism, an East Tennessee boy who also received the Medal of Honor, the highest award for valor in combat. He will be marked in Pall Mall, his home, as the hero that he was. There's already a trench there built for people to come see what it was like to fight in World War I. I mean, when we look back at some of the history pieces on that war, it was an extraordinarily, it was as warfare hadn't caught up with the industrial war complex.
That's right, that's right. The tactics that the leaders were using were antiquated, and the machinery and the technology had far outpaced it, and so it took them a long time to figure that out, and unfortunately it cost thousands, millions of lives, soldiers' lives. Just a brutal conflict. And really, the armistice ended it, but things were left unresolved that would come back to haunt the world later on. Yeah, it was just a brutal conflict. I always thought if I had to go back and serve in some war, I would not want to serve in World War I.
No, sir.
Be a tough one.
No. Well, we're going to turn our attention back to what's coming up Gay Street now, and this is the Disabled American Veterans. And this is a great group you can support through donations, not just monetarily, but also clothing and other goods.
That's right. You know, it's not just the soldiers and servicemen and women that have been killed overseas or killed in the service of the country. There's a lot that have been disabled, and they still need our help. They still need our services and support. We can't forget them at all. And so it's good to see organizations like that providing assistance to them.
And Leland, as we see this large Purple Heart roll up Gay Street, we are seeing one of the recipients inside there. The Purple Heart goes to men and women who've been wounded in combat.
Wounded in combat. So if you see that, you know this person has really gone through it and sacrificed for our country. So nobody goes out to win the Purple Heart, but unfortunately it is awarded, and it is a great honor, nevertheless.
And the history of the Seabees is something that a lot of people don't know. These were really the engineers, the builders of a lot of our work, especially in World War II.
That's right. Yeah, they provide a key service. The Seabees actually comes from the initial CB, Construction Battalion of the Navy. and that can provide such a key element to our combat capability.
The South High School. South Doyle High School.
Better get that right. South
That's
Doyle
right.
High School.
South Doyle High School.
South Doyle.
Indeed, Gunner saying thank you. That's one of the things that's great to see is the junior ROTC units who are out. They didn't say we're hanging it up. It's too cold. It's too rainy.
That's right. Maybe some of them didn't have a choice. But yeah, and this is a big group. Really, really looking good. The way they're marching in step and showing their discipline. So I'm glad they're out here. And of course, it's Army. I'm a little biased toward the Army, so good to see that.
We'll give you that. And what's so fun about this parade is it's a mix of a serious unit like this taking their role very seriously, and then you got the Thunderbirds rolling in behind them. It's just an eclectic group of organizations and people.
That's right. Yeah, it's really a great time for everybody to come down here. Whatever their interest, you know, we have so many different clubs and interests in this community, people doing different things. And you know, you see it all come together out here. These Thunderbirds, man, they're beautiful. They are beautiful.
And you mentioned on I think that Corvette, the wax job, and you can see the rain sort of balling up on these Thunderbirds. They've been working hard on those as well.
I guarantee you, as soon as they get home, they're all going to get a rub down.
Well, we're going to take another quick break here on Channel 10. We'll continue our streaming at WBIR.com. We'll be back with you momentarily from downtown Knoxville.